Let's go over the tools needed for this job. We're going to use standard toolkit. Comes with SmartBikeWheel. We're going to use the disc brake. If it's already mounted, that's great. But if it's not, we're going to be putting it on. We need a gear puller. This is something that you can either pick up at an auto parts store. You could also rent these. The 2 jaws is okay, 3 jaws is better. And you'll see that in a little bit. And we're also going to need a heat gun. This is another common item you'll find at a hardware store. I'm using the concentrator on it. This little guy, he comes with it. You don't necessarily need that. We're just going to be heating up the area right around the edge here, which is sealed for waterproof, to make the wheels waterproof. So the first step we need to do is remove the nuts and washers off the ends. Also hoping that you still have the packing material so you can place this on that nice piece of foam. If not, you can always get out a couple 2x4s. The idea is that we want the axle to be free so that we can work around it. Okay, take off the other side. All right. I don't think I mentioned that we also need, well, we could either use some chalk or we could use a piece of tape. And what I like to do is mark where the disc is on the outside here, so that of the housing, so that we can put it back together in the same orientation, so that we'll have all of the waterproof seal in place when we put it back together. So I'm just going to mark it with this piece of tape, and then I'm going to cut through it. It's a little stiffer tape than I thought. We're going to cut through it separately, but that's next, is we'll cut through it. With the Torx or the star tool, and we're going to loosen these bolts up that hold in, that will be holding in our disc brake. Okay. Well, that was easy. Next, let's get our disc brake out. Now, we don't care about orientation because we're not actually using it as a brake. We're just using it as leverage to pull from. So we're actually going to not install all of the bolts back in. All right, the 2 bolts I did not use down here. Okay, so next we're going to remove the hex flatheads all around the outside edge. And use our tool kit here, and I'm going to take the ring off of it. Actually, I'm going to remove these from the ring because I find that piece a bit annoying. I think it's this guy. Nope. Making off by a couple here. There we go. Now with those out, we're ready to attach our gear puller. We kick the camera. Okay. Now you'll notice on the original Smart Bike wheels, we've got a little indent on this end of the axle in the center. And that's where we're going to be aiming for the center point of the puller. Put that there. And then we're going to insert these two legs where we can. Here we go. And you can see where 3 would be a little better. All right. I needed a wrench for the back side of this. You could use a ratchet and socket. I'm using an old crescent wrench here. And we're going to start bringing that so that there's creating some pressure. Now I got the heat gun plugged in now, and I'm going to heat up the perimeter, trying to make the waterproof seal a little relaxed, a little warmed up, a little gummy, so it can let go. I don't want to hold this in place because it could melt the paint, but keeping it moving and providing some airflow here should loosen up our seal. Okay. I don't know if you picked that up, but that's the seal starting to break. It's putting some torque on the faceplate here. It's actually a little cockeyed, so I'm going to move it back a little bit. What will happen is you'll hear some clicking and popping, and then the whole wheel will let go, or the faceplate will let go all at once. A little more heat. Here we go. I'm sure you heard that pop. Okay, I'm going to back off puller. Leave that. And it is still tight around one edge here. So I'm kind of surprised. Oh, there we go. There we go. All right. So we've just removed the cover off the Smart Bike wheel. So this is the gear end. This is where the drive happens. And we're going to pull this out. And you can see the other end, which is where the electronics are. So this is where a lot of the work is going to be done on this particular wheel. But so this is the controller. This is half battery pack here. The other 2/3 of the battery pack on the back. And of course the gears and the grease. It's a good idea to re-grease these when you reassemble them. It'll quiet the motor down quite a bit. Anyway, there we are. That's how we do it. And you can see that can see all this rubber adhesive all the way around here. That's the waterproof seal. All right,